And now, time for weekly show with a passionate India lover, chairman of ITV Gold and Parik Worldwide Media. Get ready for loving sharing from physician, philanthropist, publisher, and India advocate in this week. Namaskar, I'm Ashok Vyas, and I have the pleasure of welcoming Padma Shri Dr. Sudhir Parik to this special edition of This Week with Padma Shri Dr. Sudhir Parik. Dr. Sir, welcome. Namaste. How are you?
Namaskar.
So as we are opening up to a new world with COVID restrictions gradually being removed, how do you feel at this point? First, we talk about America, and allow me to also add what additional precautions you think people should continue to observe in spite of having these restrictions removed.
Well, I mean, as you know, that the infection rate in the community is very, very low. It's actually 2 years low. I mean, 1 year low. It's lower than even last April or March when there was the height of the pandemic. So now we are very happy to see that pandemic is under control. Almost 60% people have been vaccinated. And therefore, I think government has opened up everything, including the indoor and outdoor dining, restaurant, venues for weddings, other gathering, and even the offices are opening up as of June 1st. So I think it's a great news. It's a back to the normal life, and we are really very happy to see this. Only thing one should be a little cautious about when you go to any public function where you don't know the people participant. There I think still you should wear the mask on the safe side. Otherwise, once you are vaccinated, chances of getting infection is very, very small. And therefore, I think you should go about your normal life, try to enjoy the normal life, go back to your normal activities as much as possible, of course, with the caution.
So talking about the caution, Dr. Parik, as officially the declaration was 50% of people have taken vaccination. So there are many people who are not still vaccinated, and some people for reasons still have some apprehension and they didn't go for it. Now, when you look at it from the point of view of those who are vaccinated, if they are in the close proximity of say out of 10, if there are 6 people who are not vaccinated, will that play out adversely?
No, not really, because what happens is 55% or 60% are vaccinated, even one dose. So those people are well protected. Plus, there are 30% of the people have already infection. So they also have antibodies in their system. So between those two combination of the vaccinated people plus one who had infection in last 3 months, I think that creates a kind of herd immunity or so-called community immunity. So I think you are safe. Only thing is when there's a public spaces like for flights, airports, or some places where you do shopping, where there's a very big crowd, there you should wear the mask, because we don't know there who is vaccinated and who is not vaccinated.
And now let's go to India with the same sort of observation in terms of how India is doing now. Indeed, we are getting the news that it is moving in the right direction. And you have also been a champion of sending the supportive oxygen concentrate and other supplies to India. On that front, how should NRIs look at India in terms of continuing to do something, or now you can just wait and let things flow?
I think in India also the pandemic second wave is settling down now. Government has pretty good control or handle over the controlling this second wave. There is enough oxygen available in all the hospitals. The number of beds are also available, is available in different hospitals in India. And the medications to treat the COVID also available in India now. So I think overall it's going in the right direction. But only thing now they have to ramp up is a vaccination. Still, vaccination is very slow. It should be done at least a couple of millions vaccination per day. Instead of that, they are doing only some lakhs, a few lakhs of the vaccination per day, and I think that is a little worrisome because if they do not vaccinate enough people by next couple of months, then the chances of getting third wave is very, very real.
And in this context, when we look at some of the states are still under lockdown, and as I remember, Rajasthan till 8th June, they have lockdown, and several other states. So once the lockdown is removed, do you look at it as a cause of concern that what we see as a slowdown of the impact of second wave of COVID-19, will it change its tone?
Well, I mean, when lockdown is over, probably we have to be worried about or concerned about vaccination. So as long as the vaccination is done in the right speed, or right speed and right vigor, then I think we will be fine. If not, then still we have concern, and one should worry about it.
Let's look at other natural calamities that have affected and how political dynamics plays out. And I quickly recollect with you, Prime Minister Narendra Modi waiting in Bengal to address the relief effort works with Chief Minister of Bengal as well as the Chief Secretary, and they didn't show up for half an hour. They came, they left after leaving a file. And then there are some actions that are following against the Chief Secretary, who is now retired. How do you look at this scenario, indeed the role of Chief Minister of Bengal, as well as what way central administration should deal with this kind of situation?
Well, I mean, this is very deplorable situation. I think Chief Minister should not have behaved like that, because at the end of the day, all chief minister in the federal structure or federal country, one should respect the prime minister, and chief minister should have come on time and not let the prime minister wait for her. And I think that is not acceptable. That is wrong. And I think rightly, prime minister or BJP spokesperson criticize her, and that criticism is it's kind of well justified. But beyond that, nothing much PM can do for CM because of the other. It's not as simple as that. No one can punish anybody because it's a federal structure, and everyone has somehow some leeway, and therefore, but ethically and morally, she should have been there on time. Should respect prime minister's time and prime minister to do any work between the state and center.
Absolutely, because at the end of the day, you are serving people, and coordinated effort definitely helps. And talking about coordination from the point of view of social media, how Twitter has been at loggerheads with central government, and then there are some new laws in place which they didn't comply with. So there is a halla gulla happening. On the one hand, security of a nation as well as its sovereignty. On the other hand, a company that comes, which has its root outside of India, and it overrides the law of the land. Your take on this, call it controversy or an ongoing interactive way to find the proper equilibrium?
I think any company who operates in India should abide by India's rules and regulations. There is no exception to that, and it should not be exception to that. And if not, then India's government should make sure that they abide by rules and regulation. And if not, then the government has all right to completely terminate them for their business in the India. And I think government should take some strong steps to kind of give the example that government means business.
Absolutely. And of late, the image of Prime Minister Modi, because of several challenges which back to back have surfaced in India, people feel he is not acting in a firm manner, and he's not as decisive as people started associating with his personality. And of course, there are these issues, including the migration of innocent citizens of Bengal due to post-election violence, but no specific strong statement also from Prime Minister. And there are several other issues. But staying with this, what do you think? Is there a particular way in which Prime Minister Narendra Modi functions? Your general take on this scenario?
Yeah, I mean, Prime Minister is doing very good job and very well job, and I think he should not worry about any criticism or any opposition comments or anything, because as long as he is doing great job, good job, and right job, his popularity will remain the same eventually, because people appreciate and understand the challenges he has. And I don't think that he should react to the comment, criticism, or even worry about the popularity, because at the end of the day, if you are doing the right job and correct job, then and help the country, then popularity always comes back.
So I think you have a very balanced view on it. Allow me to sort of follow up on this, because when it is politics, it ultimately boils down to the perception of people, and perception is related to communication. So somewhere looks like even if you are doing good, but if it is not conveyed, communicated, then it may not help you sustain the kind of popularity that you enjoy. That is another
No,
view.
I think eventually, I'm sure government is conveying it, but right now, kind of because of the challenges, kind of it kind of overwhelms challenges overwhelms their communications, and but I would not worry about that as long as he's doing right job, right. He follows the right direction. Uh, Little lack of or drop in the perception or popularity doesn't matter, because eventually always truth prevails. People understand and appreciate, not today, tomorrow, or anytime.
Absolutely. And as there are some technical glitches, but I hope we have you back here soon. So, Dr. There is another issue which is also drawing attention of people, and that is related to the Parliament building, which is Central Vista. That has also been objected to, that it has 1100 crore rupees project, and these days, because of COVID, the economy is not doing so well. So there have been several critical statements from the opposition as well as from the press. And before I seek your comment, also I would mention that High Court also received one petition which it has rejected, and it has upheld government's decision to continue with making of this Central Vista Parliament building. Your response?
Well, I think government should do it on his own wisdom to continue the Vista. I mean, obviously, it gives little not very positive optics during the pandemic. So government can always wait for a few months to restart the Vista, and it's never late to restart again and complete before even the end of the second term of the Prime Minister Modi. So I think again it's more of optic, more of kind of perception, which is not reality, and so they should continue move forward. But probably it's wiser to move forward once the pandemic and vaccination problem is resolved.
So I kind of want to, I'm tempted to share my take because they don't have any specific date when it will be over. And another line of argument was it's also going to generate some employment. And of course, economy is not doing very good. So it might help in that direction. But as we conclude, how do you see the potential of India bouncing back after this COVID hit in terms of its economic growth?
I think India's economy fundamentally very strong economy. The people there's a vast number of people and very young population in India. All these things together, India will bounce back. It may take little time, but it will bounce back within next year or two. So I'm not worried about that because fundamentally economics of the India is very sound and strong. So I think it will happen.
Very nice. So those positive and balanced views, as always, coming with a sense of pragmatic wisdom from Padma Shri Dr. Sudhir Parikh, and your concluding remarks from today's show, Dr.
Well, again, for as far as USA is concerned, we almost won or conquered the pandemic. Now we should enjoy and try to go back to normal life and enjoy the normal life. For India, I think still they have little way to go. The vaccination is very important. Government has to double up or triple up their effort to vaccinate at least 50 to 60% of the population within next 2 to 3 months. Otherwise, there is a small chance that there might be a third wave there. So I think that's governments should have that priority. And I'm sure with the wisdom of the Honorable Prime Minister, it will happen. So I'm very positive about it. I thank you everyone joining us this week. We'll see you next week with a different topic. Goodbye. Jai Hind. God bless America. God bless India. And God bless Indian American community. Thank you.